All right, guys, welcome back to Latin Chopsticks. Thank you for tuning in. So, what a crazy start to the year. Basically, somebody I was in close contact with had COVID. Thankfully, I don't have it. I've gotten tested twice. I don't have it, but I'm still quarantining just in case. So the next few weeks, the videos are going to be a little bit different since I'm going to be using the phone mostly, at least until we get home, which then I'll be able to use the camera because everything that we're going to order is going to be pretty much takeout. And today we're going to be going to a place that I've actually been looking at every single time I go to the Vietnamese place that we went. It was like one of our first videos. I think it's called House of Pho. And basically every time I eat a House of Pho and I pass by this place, there's a place called Golden Lotus at the end of the same building as the Vietnamese place. And it's a place that's really caught my eye multiple times. And it's hilarious because it's like right after I'm done eating, I'm like, oh, I forgot that place is there. Like I should have gone because they sell soup dumplings and like other dumplings, as well as like a whole bunch of different Cantonese food. And it looks really, really good. So today we're going to be ordering some fruit from there just out of nowhere, literally. I wasn't even planning this, hence why I'm filming on the phone. I was just doing some errands and I saw it and I was like, you know what? We're going to go to some takeout from there, take it home, and we're going to do a video. So I've never been here. I've never even heard of this place, so I don't know anything about it. So as soon as we get home, we're going to check this food out. Today, what we ordered was obviously the Shanghai special soup dumplings. We also ordered, I believe, a pork bun or like steamed buns, pork steamed buns. And I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. We ordered Singapore noodles, which I love. I've had those before in other places. And we ordered like this amazing looking beef and tendon noodle soup that looks really, really good. So we ordered that as well. I can't wait, guys. Let's go home. All right, guys, welcome back to Latin Chopsticks. We have made it. So I am starving. I have barely eaten anything today. I've been so busy trying to get these tests done and doing all these errands just in case, you know, getting on a bunch of pet food and stuff like that in advance because we were running low, different things like that. So we're here, we're home. We're finally gonna have some delicious dinner. I saw this place and I knew right now is the opportunity to stop by and eat there, or at least pick up some food, and take it home. So I felt like right now was the opportunity to do this. With that said, so what we ordered today, as I mentioned before in the beginning of the video, is we went ahead and we ordered steamed roast pork buns. We ordered Shanghai style soup dumplings, which I can't wait to try because I've only seen those in videos. I don't think I've ever actually tried one. And we ended up getting the beef and tendon noodle soup, which is for me. Can't wait to try that as well. I'm a freaking soup lover. I cannot wait. And last but not least, I believe it was the Singapore noodles, which is amazing, great tasting. Hopefully the curry is not too strong that it overtakes the flavor of the dish, but we will see. So we're gonna go ahead and get this and we're gonna start by taking it apart. So we'll see what's in here. The smell coming off of this though is so appetizing. It's just making me even more hungry. Oh my goodness gracious. Man, they really tied this knot really well. All right, we got it. I want to rip the bag open. So first things first, you got your little tiny soup dumplings. Has a little bit of sauce. I'm not sure what the sauce is. Let's see what the second one. I'm sure these are the pork buns. Oh no, I was driving a little crazy and they fell apart a little bit. But here's the pork buns. This, ooh, it's the Singapore noodles. Looks really good. Smells really good too, but it does smell a little bit strong of curry, so we'll see. I know it's supposed to taste like curry, but sometimes in my opinion it's just too much. I believe these are the ingredients to the freaking beef noodles, and then you got the broth right here, nice and hot and ready to eat. So let's show you guys each individual dish. All right, so first things first, look at these Singapore noodles. It looks really freaking good. You can see a little bit of some crispiness on some of the noodle, but very little amount. You got some nice, delicious, decently sized pieces of shrimp. You got your vegetables, which are, you know, the carrots. You got eggs in there. Looks a little oily, but we're gonna go ahead and try it out in a moment. You have the green onions. I'm not sure if that's green peppers or something else, to be completely honest with you guys. Remember, I'm doing this and learning as I go, right with you guys. I love food, but I still gotta learn a few things. This is the beef and tendon noodle soup. Looks really good. I don't know if those are leeks or bok choy. I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to try it. You have the broth right here, which I have not opened yet. We'll open when we get to it. We have right here, these are the soup dumplings. Of course, presentation is going to be lacking because I did take these to go. And then you have here the pork buns. Now, I am a little unhappy that they're kind of open. I've never really had open up pork dumplings, but when you look inside, I mean, it's really stuffed. Sometimes when I have pork buns, in most places, you get like this weird mashed potato-y pork inside, but I mean, you could actually see the chunks of pork. But let's go ahead and try these individually and go from there. All right, guys, so we got our personal stainless steel chopsticks that I've had for a very long time. Some of the paint's actually wearing off of it, like the design that it had. But these are some of the best. They're super lightweight. They're stainless steel, so they don't rust. They look almost, besides the whole paint wearing off, they look almost like the day I bought them. And the crazy part is they actually have some grooves at the bottom to help you kind of grip the food, add a little bit of friction and texture to it, so it's not as smooth, so you can actually pick up food. But the first thing I want to try are the freaking soup noodles, because I'm scared that those either are going to fall apart or they're going to melt. So that's the first thing we're going to try. So I'm not 100% sure how much it has in it, but they probably got absorbed. Most of the soup most likely got absorbed by the dumpling itself, just because it was like a 40-minute drive to get home. So we're going to go ahead and try this first. I want to try it on its own without whatever that sauce is. So we're going to go ahead and dig in. All right, let's go ahead and try it out. Oh my God. It's pretty good. But it did it like how Mikey Chen and his channel always describes it. Like, you get that like shot of juice of soup right into your mouth, and it just, oh my gosh, it overtook the flavor. It tasted a lot like pork fat mixed with like a really good tonkatsu, like pork fat broth is what I felt. And the bite of the pork's a pretty decent size considering the soup dumpling's a little small. Let me show you. So look at this soup dumpling. Like, I already drank all of the soup broth as soon as I bit down, but it's packed tightly, but it's pretty stuffed considering the size. And I love how basically how firm it is. Like, it's not falling apart. Usually when you get larger ones, as soon as you pick it up, sometimes they break apart and you need that soup spoon in order for you to get them. So I really like the fact that I'm able to pick this up with the chopsticks. Flavor-wise, I mean, it looks like it's just the pork. Maybe it's because it took so long to get home. But the dumpling itself, the outside, is so juicy and so tender, and it just tastes just like the filling, just like the inside. I want to try what this sauce is. I don't know if this is hot oil. It's very, it's very little, but I actually don't know what that is. I've never had that before. That's a mystery I'll have to solve some other time. All right, next thing that I want to try are the freaking pork buns, because I'm amazed of how the filling looks. It looks really appetizing with nice big chunks of pork. Now I'm curious to know if it's going to be sweet like most of the pork buns, which I'm pretty sure it is, but let's go ahead and try it. All right, so you have this nice big piece of the pork bun here. Fortunately, a piece fell out, but actually I'm going to go ahead and grab that little broken piece. It'd be a nice bite size. Ooh, a little bit of the pork fell out. It's okay. There's a piece of pork in there, as you guys can see. We're going to go ahead and try this out. It's nice and soft. It's still warm, but then the inside is really good looking sauce in there. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go ahead and try this out. All right, let's dig in. I'm going to be honest. The outside's really dry. Like the pork bun, usually it's a fluffy, almost like a cloud that you bite into it. This is a little bit more firmness. And honestly, as soon as I bit down, it kind of dried my mouth completely. You do get that really nice, tender piece of meat and that really sweet sauce that comes with it. It is good, but it's honestly a little dry for my liking. Let me have let me have another bite and see if that changes. Wow, I usually cut off when I'm chewing, but that took a while. It's really good. It really is, like the flavor is really good. However, it's just too dry for me. Like, I would order these to kind of show other people some of the flavors, but I don't think I would order them again if I go back, because I'm a little like I said, maybe it's because I waited and it was like a 40-minute drive home, but it's just a little dry for my taste. And unfortunately, the pork does make it a little bit better, but the pork kind of disintegrates, disappears, and then you get like left behind with this good flavor, but you have like the dough kind of left behind on its own, and it's just like really hard to like break down and eat. So a little disappointed. The flavors are great, but I'm just a little disappointed with that. I've had pork buns before. Usually they're nice and soft, and they almost like dissipate, after 2 or 3 bites. This one has a little bit more depth to it, I guess. All right, so I want to try the broth because this is the one thing that I've kind of been wanting besides those Singapore noodles. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up, and I'm gonna go ahead and get, ooh, the smell from that. Wow, it smells a lot like, oh man. It really has like that tonkatsu ramen smell to it. But this is, I believe this is beef, so it's beef broth. So I'll be right back. All right, so let me show you guys. Let me show you guys the broth. There's a big layer of fat on the top. Let me see if I could kind of mix it up a little bit, and then we can see what the actual true colors of the broth is. So as you guys can see, it has a really thick layer, like I mentioned, of fat on the top, and you even have a little bit of fat pieces, I'm guessing from the beef. But if we mix it up a little bit, maybe it'll have a nice flavor. It has a very strong like beef fat smell, to be completely honest. But let's see the flavors. Let's see how it tastes, because this is the most important part. It's a little simple, honestly. It's a little bit simple for me. Maybe it's because I'm used to the Vietnamese and ramen. It has a very, very strong beef fat taste, almost to the point of being unpleasant, but it's not unpleasant. It has good flavor. But the base of the soup, I feel like it's missing like salt, and it's missing like other flavors. Maybe, I'm not sure what makes up these beef broths. Maybe it's different because it's Cantonese food. And to be completely honest, this might be like my second or third time in my life having Cantonese food. But I don't know, I feel like it's missing something. Let me try a little bit of the noodles. Maybe that'll help with some of the tendon and the beef. See if that has a better flavor. Normally it all comes together, so maybe the beef and the sauces of the beef and the noodle itself is supposed to add flavor to the broth. But I'm so used to it being the other way around, with the exception of hot pots. So let's go ahead and try this meat out. Let's see if it's any better. So the beef looks really good. Let's go ahead and see if it has any good flavor on its own. All right, let's dig in. Wow. For any of my Hispanic friends or viewers out there, soon as I put that in my mouth and I squeezed it up against the roof of my mouth with my tongue to kind of feel the flavors and extract the juices, the whole thing fell apart and turned into carne mechada, which is basically shredded beef. It's so soft and tender. It has really good flavor. It's like the beef itself is the star of the flavor that you get when you eat that. Now we're going to try a little piece of tendon. There's quite a few of them here. I'm going to go ahead and try one of them. Hopefully this is as good as it looks. Let's go ahead and dig in. It's also lacking in flavor, just like the broth itself. So once again, I don't want to be too harsh judging. I'm just being honest with you guys. But, maybe if it came together, the flavors would be different. But the way it is now, the way it's all separated right now, the noodles itself are drying out. The beef has really good flavor, but then the broth itself is just missing a little bit of a kick of like saltiness. It just feels kind of simple. It just feels like I'm eating, maybe dyed down fat, like beef fat, with some noodles. And I don't know if that's how it's supposed to be, but I don't think that's how it's supposed to be. I feel like it should have more flavor besides just fat. Even the noodles themselves feel a little bit simple, honestly. I hope the Singapore noodles really redeems it, because I'm disappointed so far with this. Everything else that I've had was really good, with the exception of the buns were a little dry, but the flavor was excellent. But the flavor on this one, unfortunately, I have to say it's lacking. I still don't know if that's bok choy or leeks. If you guys do know the difference between the flavor of those or what it adds to the dish, please let me know. I would love to educate myself on that, or have you help me educate myself on that. Let's go ahead and try the Singapore noodles, but I want to show you guys kind of up close, so you can see what it looks like. All right, so we've arrived at the main dish. It's the Singapore noodles. You got some pieces of pork in there. It looks really nice. You have the pieces of shrimp, and you have the noodles themselves. You have some vegetables, and it's nice and Looks a little greasy, but we'll go ahead and try it out. You can see the seasoning if you look close enough, and you can see the color of the curry. So we're gonna go ahead and just get a little bit of this. We're gonna go, oh, that is a lot. We're gonna get a little bit of this, and we're gonna try it out and see how it fares to other places. That's still a lot. See how it fares against other places that I've had Singapore noodles at. All right, let's go ahead and dig in. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. Compared to the places that I've had Singapore noodles, this is the best so far. I haven't tasted that many, so I don't want to be like, oh, it's the best ever, but it's really good in flavor because it has a very light, mild spice to it, which I'm sure it's coming from the curry. The curry is there, it's apparent, but it's not overwhelming, so it's not taking away the flavor from the actual noodles themselves, from the individual piece of shrimp, from the eggs. You could feel everything. You could taste everything, despite it being all kind of cooked together. And I love that. I love that I can taste all the separate ingredients because it really helps complement the dish together, and it makes it what it is, something special, Singapore noodles. So when you think of Singapore noodles, you really want to make sure that you have that nice curry taste, but you also want to be able to taste all the ingredients in there. So some of the other places that I've been to, they put so much curry in it that it just overwhelms the flavors of everything else that's in the dish. And it doesn't, it's just, I feel like I'm eating curry noodles and that's it. I'm not eating Singapore special noodles with the, you know, with the shrimp and the beef and then whatever other toppings that you may want to put, or any other proteins that you may want to put in there. I think it's pork as well. But this, All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This was really actually a surprise. I'm really happy I did this, and I might start trying to do it more like this more often. I'm gonna try to title it a little bit different, maybe surprise. I don't know. Give me, you guys give me an idea. What do you guys think? You know, this usually the places that I go to, either places I've gone to before or places that I've really heard good things about. In all honesty, I'd never heard of this place before, besides just seeing it after leaving the World of Pho place that we went to. Remember, Golden Lotus in Orlando. It's pretty good. I have a feeling, and like I said, I don't want to be too harsh because the food's not always the same when you eat it right on the spot, unless it's a dedicated takeout place. This place was actually really nice sit-in restaurant. It was completely empty, but given the situation that we, you know, that I'm in right now, I prefer to just kind of take it home with me and wait. So the next couple videos will be like that. But as I mentioned, you know, what do you guys think? You know, I feel like I want to do this a little more often, where it's something that catches my eye and just go and make a video on it. Completely blind, whether it's good or bad. I'm going to be completely honest, like I was with some of the plates that we got. But, you know, I hope you guys liked the video. I hope you guys liked the honesty. I really appreciate you guys tuning in every single week and watching our videos. You know, it's a rough start to the year, but you know what? I'm excited, I'm positive, and I'm looking forward to what's to come. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, no matter how many times I say it, I will never be able to thank you enough. But until next time, let's just keep on eating.